Hey there ladies, it's Meg from Follow Meg. Guess what we're making today? Cheer pom-poms, just like the professionals use. Now these are made out of tissue paper and they have a little secret inside. Want to find out what it is? Well, get your supplies and let's get ready to work. Okay, so let's talk about what supplies you're going to need for this project. You're going to need, first of all, some tissue paper. You can use any colors you want. You are literally not limited by the number of colors that you want to use. A ruler. You might want a pen, you don't absolutely have to have one. Our surprise is a toilet paper roll of all things. You'll want a nice sharp pair of scissors. You'll want a couple of types of electrical tape. Since we're using red and yellow, I am just going to be using red and yellow. You'll also want some nice masking tape. And then lastly, you're going to want a couple of these binder clips. I actually use 16 paper sheets. On the packaging I'm looking, it looks like it's 20 by 20 inches. So one of the fun elements of this type of pom-pom is actually one that you won't see, but it is super helpful to have. Now you'll notice that the shape of this pom-pom is not perfectly round. It's really kind of long and almost flat on the top, and that doesn't have anything to do with my pom-pom fronds not being shoved up enough, as I like to say. It has everything to do with the fun candy center. Okay, I'm just kidding, it's not candy. But if you can see, we've got a red and yellow striped handle in the middle for you to grab onto. Are you ready to get working? Let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need to do is clear your table of anything that you're not gonna use right now and just keep your tissue paper. So these are ones that I prepared earlier, and all I have done is just open these up and taken out the colors that we're going to be working with today. Now I'm doing red and yellow. You could use, purple and pink. You could use green and blue. You could smash the like button as we're working on our project. Now again, for this project, you're going to need 16 sheets. So you're just going to be lining these up as best you can at the top. If they don't perfectly line up, that's actually okay, because when you cut these tassels on here, you're not going to see any imperfections at all. It's a very forgiving project. All right, so we're just laying these out. As you can see, I am alternating the colors, red and yellow, red and yellow. And if you notice, there's these crease lines where the paper was folded. And I'm just making sure that they're all facing that same direction. Just lining them up as best you can. So a really great use for these are, of course, at any kind of sports or cheer rally. If you make TikTok videos, you could make some of these for any dance videos you're gonna do. So again, I'm just continuing to alternate. Sometimes I have to kind of smooth out these edges because they want to fold back. We're not gonna sweat the small stuff around here. We're too busy having fun. All right, there we go. So now we have a stack of our 16 sheets. Are we getting excited yet? So our next step is I am just going to go ahead and fold this over. This will probably be the hardest part to keep everything kind of lined up. You'll see how much mine are not perfectly lined up. And again, that's okay. They're gonna look great when we're done. So you're just gonna fold it one way like this, and then we're gonna turn it and we're gonna fold it the other way. So we're just making a nice square. Now this is a good time for you to be thinking about how wide you want your tassels to be. Now I can see what I did. I said, you know what, I don't know how wide I want them to be, but I'm gonna use my ruler as a guide. So let me just move this aside, and this is the time you need to grab your binder clips. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna open them up, and you are going to find, here is the side that is folded, but it's open, okay? And here's the side that is folded and is closed. This is the very top where you have the most folds. And I'm just gonna clip the top, and we're gonna do it one more time over here. This just helps to keep it from kind of wriggling away, smoothing that out. So if you laid it like this, you would see that if you were to open this up, it opens up like a book. Okay, so having the binder clips up at the top facing away from you, you are gonna wanna grab your ruler. I'm literally laying out the ruler on top of the edge, and then I'm just going to use that as my guide. Okay, so you can see that I've started by cutting the first 3 of these. Now you're gonna need a really sharp pair of scissors because otherwise you'll find it really hard to cut through. And if you don't have super sharp ones, you may have to unfold this. So I'm just going to about, let's just use my ruler, about 1 inch from the top. So you just give it some space there. Okay, so as I said earlier, there is this end piece, and you have to be okay with the fact that it's either going to be skinnier than the rest of these or it's going to be wider. In my case, I don't want it to be wider, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come and unfold this, and I'm just going to cut right up the edge. Now, I'm only cutting half right now because I'm going to have to flip it over and do the other side. Okay? Flipping, and this side, oh, look at this side. This side, and this is a good thing to do them individually, this side is actually skinnier than the other side. Again, you won't notice, you won't see it. All right, so that's what you have when you're all done. Looks like a little cheer skirt, actually. That's really fun. All right, I'm setting my other things aside, and we're gonna take off our binder clips. And okay, so that's what it's gonna look like unfolded. You're just gonna have tassels on one side, tassels on the other. Okay, and then you're going to further unfold. I know that my outer layers are both yellow, so there they are, yellow and yellow. So there we go. We're just gonna kind of get these tassels in order. So this next step, pull over your this is actually electrical tape. I don't know what I called it earlier. And you're gonna need your tissue paper roll just kind of setting by, and your tape. But we'll set those off to the side for just a minute. Okay, so what you're gonna do is very carefully turn this to the side. So we're just gonna roll it. All right, so starting right here. And you wanna try to roll starting kind of small if you can. And you're gonna have to kind of tame the tresses, tame the tassels as you go. To make sure they stay out of the way, because you want this center as tight as you can get it and with nothing in the way for the next step. All right. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those pom-poms rolling right. Okay, so that's where you should get to. I'm gonna hold this with my wrist and grab my masking tape. All right, and then you're gonna find the loose ends over here, and you're just gonna do kind of a crude initial wrap. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side so it doesn't become bigger on one side than the other. Now I'm just gonna set this aside, and we're gonna work on our handle right here. You're gonna customize the size of your handle. So in my case, with my hand, grabbing the middle, grabbing this, it's actually only about 2/3. So what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna, again, eyeball it. I'm gonna kind of squish it just a little bit, and then I'm gonna cut it down. And then you're gonna cut it right up the center, just like that. All right, bringing our pom-pom back over. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna wrap this guy. You're just gonna put it just like a little napkin ring on your Thanksgiving table, right around the center, just like that. All right, and so I'm gonna cross one part over the other, and I'm gonna do everything I can to pull it as tight as I possibly can, keeping that little guy out of the way, and taping. Okay. And doing the other side. I am going to cut a piece of electrical tape. I'm gonna start in the middle. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to wrap this trying to keep it as kind of centered as I possibly can. Just like that. Okay, and there is the center that you're gonna be hanging on to. Now we come to the last exciting, but sadly, the most time-consuming part of this project. We're going to shuff our pom-poms. We're gonna give them some volume. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn our pom-pom to the side, and we're basically just gonna work on one side at a time. So I'm gonna start with this. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna pull one direction and one the other way. And then you're gonna pull the next set up and down. With tissue paper, you're gonna see a little bit of tearing. Every once in a while, there'll be a casualty and you'll lose one of the tassels. You're not gonna notice, it'll be fine. Just do alternating directions. To keep it simple, you grab them and you either pull them opposite directions as is, or you twist them the other way. And as you can see, you're already getting some fluffiness, and we're just gonna get to this. This is the time where I like to grab my earbuds and listen to an audiobook. I love Audible. I think they give you a free 30-day trial, so you can try it. When you sign up, they give you 2 free books to start. Any other books you want to purchase are like 30% off. My favorite feature is that you can return books that you don't like. So I find myself returning books that my husband's already listened to. Because I'm sentimental about books, I like to keep the ones that I have picked out, but you can replace them one for one, and then you can get something else, which is awesome. All right, so you can see as I'm going, I actually turned it so I can get to this new section right here. Oh, I can't think of what team is red and yellow. All I think of is Harry Potter, which you can also listen to on Audible. Do you guys have an Audible subscription? Because if you don't, you should get one. I'll put the link in the description for you. If you want to know how long it takes to make a pair of these, you know, that's a tough question to answer because everybody's different. My guesstimate is for the pair. Now look, you can see these are skinnier, but you're not gonna see them. You're not gonna notice, especially if you're cheering for your team and you keep them moving. All right. Saying, sometimes if I was going to watch a movie right now, I'd probably put on Bring It On, because that to me is the original cheer movie. Please leave me a comment below and tell me, are there other cheer movies out there that I just don't know anything about? I'd love to hear from you guys. Obviously, I want to see your finished product. I want to see what colors you chose. I want to see how many colors and what material you chose to go with. So there's our finished product, ladies and gents. They look awesome. Now this is the one that I just finished. This is the one that has been sitting here for a little bit. It looks like I have a little bit of shuffling to do, but they look awesome. I'm so excited and I'm so pleased with how they look. And they feel so good in your hands with these handles kind of hiding in the middle. So you never have to say, oh no, where do I hold it? This one's got a very solid handle. Oh, I see a section I'm gonna need to shuff. No problem, you can constantly be doing pom-pom maintenance just like the professional cheerleaders do. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you liked this video, check out my playlist for other kinds of pom-poms and take a second to subscribe and see what else I have coming down the pike. Thank you so much for watching, and let's say go cheer!